Okay, let's dive right into this. Welcome to today's explainer, where we're going to be laser focused on an absolutely crucial technical process, pulling off an engineering grade commissioning for a 5 kilowatt solar system. We are taking all the guesswork out of powering up.
So picture this. You've just spent days, maybe even weeks, wiring up your brand new off-grid solar setup, right? The panels are gleaming in the sun, the cables are all neatly routed. It looks great. But I need you to know that simply finishing the physical installation, yeah, that is not the finish line, not by a long shot. Actually, the most dangerous moment is absolutely not during the installation itself.
It's the very first time you turn everything on. Because think about it. If there's a hidden, catastrophic fault lurking somewhere in those beautiful cable runs, well, this is the exact moment it's going to rear its ugly head. Here's our roadmap for this process. We've got 6 parts today. 1, the most dangerous moment. 2, voltage versus real power. 3, the safe startup sequence. 4, the crucial load test. 5, grounding and protection checks. And finally, 6, your final defense line. We're talking about a meticulous sequence here, guys, not just randomly pushing buttons and hoping for the best. Starting right off with part 1, the most dangerous moment, and exactly why turning it on is a critical phase. Far too many folks fall into this really dangerous trap. You know, they flip a breaker, they see a little green light turn on, and they just declare the whole thing a massive success. But hey, we aren't just looking for a heartbeat here. We need to use a structured energization process to definitively prove the system is actually safe to operate. Moving on to part 2, voltage versus real power. This is all about knowing the difference between a system that's just alive and one that's actually working. And this brilliantly illustrates the core difference. Voltage, well, that just tells you the system is alive. It's got a pulse. But current confirms actual energy flow. It's like the muscles actually doing the heavy lifting to spin a fan or light up a bulb. You might measure a perfectly pristine 48 volts, but if that voltage suddenly drops off a cliff the second you apply a load to it, well, a rising voltage drop points straight to some serious wiring issues. Because if we ignore these principles, we are setting ourselves up for some severe, catastrophic risks. For example, getting hit with a cold weather open circuit voltage spike from your PV strings, or, just making a simpler reverse polarity mistake, that will literally destroy your MPPT charge controller in the blink of an eye. Poof, gone. Also, floating grounds, they make your expensive surge protection completely useless. And don't even get me started on loose connections. They'll silently sit there generating heat and arc faults right behind your walls. Let's look at part 3, the safe startup sequence. We need the exact right order for our DC initialization. Okay, let's walk through the first 5 steps. Step 1 is your visual inspection. Check those terminal tightnesses before you do anything else. Step 2, verify your 48-volt battery is nice and stable. Then, and this is absolutely vital, step 3, energize the charge controller first. Always connect the battery before the solar input so the controller can properly figure out what's going on. Step 4 is measuring the PV input voltage. And only after all of that checks out do we finally hit step 5 and connect the solar array. I really want to reinforce the incredibly high stakes of step 4 here. Checking your PV open circuit voltage and confirming the polarity, that is a non-negotiable line of defense. A reverse connection here can and absolutely will destroy your controller instantly. There are 0 second chances with this one. All right, part 4, the crucial load test. This is where we shift gears to validating our AC output and overall performance. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the question it poses. Think about it for a second. Out of all the steps installers take, what step is most often skipped entirely during commissioning? Any guesses? Well, the answer is the load test. That's steps 6 and 7. It's so common for people to just turn on the inverter, measure for a stable AC voltage under absolutely no load, and call it a day. But the professional standard, that requires applying a controlled, known load. You literally need to stand there and physically watch that DC current draw from the battery while the system is actually breaking a sweat. And here's why. If your voltage drops significantly during that step 7 load test, guess what? You have just uncovered a silent failure. Those basic everyday startup routines, they miss this entirely. It's really only under load that issues like undersized cables, sneaky loose connections, or dangerous internal resistance suddenly rear their ugly heads. Which brings us to part 5, grounding and protection checks.
This is all about ensuring our fault currents have a safe, predictable path. Step 8 is testing your grounding continuity. You literally need to grab your multimeter and physically check the resistance between the equipment chassis and the ground rod. Just looking at it isn't enough. Then step 9 is manually verifying your protection devices. Never, ever just assume your breakers, fuses, and disconnects are going to work. Flip them. Verify that they actually operate smoothly. 0. That right there is your magic number. 0 ohms is the absolute target resistance for ground continuity. Why? Well, because a weak ground path with high resistance means a fault current has nowhere else to go but through you. And remember, it only takes a tiny fraction of current, like 50 milliamps, to be lethal. We have to make sure that current has a much better, faster path to ground than your body. Finally, part 6, your final defense line. Let's talk about final observations and adopting a real mindset of safety. So the crucial point is, you don't just pack up your tools the second the lights turn on and pat yourself on the back. You need to hang out and monitor the system in its steady running state for several minutes. Keep an eye out for heat buildup, watch for any voltage instability, and honestly, just listen for unusual sounds. Early signs of failure are incredibly subtle, and a little patience right here literally saves lives. I'm going to leave you with this stark reminder. Commissioning is not just a checklist. Ignore it, and you are straight up gambling with fire. Real engineering-grade verification is your final line of defense against a catastrophic failure. So I'll leave you with this to chew on. Which of these critical steps are you going to go double-check on your own setup today?